to the record. There's also a core, maybe 5 or 6 people that are present on every song. The members are very sporadic and numerous. We have many members, and it's also quite dependent on the particular evening and situation. It can fluctuate quite extremely depending on who happens to be in the proximity at that time. It's certainly essential to have Mr. Scott Williams and Mr. Doug Riebel and Mr. Benjamin Morris and myself and some others possibly. That recording session would typically be a very simple, minimal instrumentation, need some drums, maybe a piano, normally a guitar, bass, and some creativity. I would have to say that possibly a favorite song of mine is Antimatter Plane, which is a very early song that we did. Sure. Yeah. It's a very wonderful, satiric, to the point, very upbeat, bouncy song, full of lots of energy and really creative, fun instruments. Yeah. Wow. Sure. The trombone playing in that recording is absolutely unique, you see, because Benjamin Morris happens to give a very brief trombone solo, very simple, melodic, and a very small part of the song, but certainly very central. It was recorded in the Morris family living room. It uses the stereo system. It was recorded on Doug Riebel's video camera. Songs are written as they're being recorded in kind of a very quick and linear type of setting. I believe that song was written collectively with maybe most of the help from Scott Williams. Right, it's absolutely not written out. I think that's a great way to put it that people are joining in. Basically, a discussion is formed about maybe the way in which the song will move, and its formal structure is important and laid out. The lyrics are never discussed, and the lyricist, John Winzig, will kind of create them in the moment. So it's very linear, I would say, in the way that it moves from different people contributing and moving on. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So basically, while some people are figuring out maybe the music and the chords and the structure of the song, John Winzig may be in a different place, finding a page on Wikipedia, the internet encyclopedia, and printing that out and just blatantly reading from that for the lyrical content. Yeah. I'm trying to think. There were some times where some poetry was cited. I'm trying to imagine some other non-Wikipedia. That's to my recollection, possibly not. PAINtbynumbers is very cautiously approached maybe some newer venues for recording instead of living rooms and basements. We've now moved on to, in a recent recording, actually tracking a vocal session in a car on the freeway. So that was a very experimental phase for the numbers. Yeah. There's been 2 live performances by PAINtbynumbers, each with, just like every song, drastically different personality. Certainly the core maintains the same. I would have to say it's something I'd love to do again in the future. It's certainly louder, more raw, and certainly less maybe intricate than a recording session. Small instruments that happen to exist at the time of the recording obviously couldn't be duplicated in a live performance. Sure, yeah, the packaging has actually been a huge help in marketing and getting our music out there. The packaging was designed by the band. Each song lyric was handwritten by a different member of the band. So 10 tracks, 10 different people wrote in shorthand, very tiny, the song lyrics, which was then photocopied burned on a household desktop computer, and then folded into the lyrics, which was then shrink wrapped with saran wrap on top, and those were then distributed gratis. Yeah, the marketing is certainly centered around the fact that our music is something that we'd like to certainly be widely available and most convenient to people. So certainly of no commercial value. Our websites are merely designed to maybe give